Tuesday, October 31st. Wow, got a lot of reverb on my last video on Manafort and Gates and Papadopoulos and the indictment, the Mueller indictments. But let's talk a little bit more about what then happened on TV, because that was what really made it a lot of fun. I was really focused yesterday on CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. And it's really funny how this game works. You really do wonder what real media is anymore. It's really all just lined up ideologically. But let's go over what happened, because it was very interesting. When the Mueller indictments came down, MSNBC rejoiced. Everybody on there was just dancing. Then you get to last night, and every time Rachel Maddow, and I like watching Rachel Maddow, every time Rachel Maddow goes off and rolls into Lawrence O'Donnell, all he does is like tell her how great she is, and she sits there and gives you a faux blush and thank you and all that. And he says, "You're the greatest, you're the greatest, you're the greatest, you're this, you're this, you're this," and she blushes and bop bop bop, and Larry, you're great too. And then he goes into his stuff. And when you listen to these people, they are so anti-Trump, it isn't even close. I mean, there's nothing to do with it. It's just the real. I mean, when Chris Christie had problems with, they were calling it Bridgegate, Chris Matthews, remember we were talking about that back then, then all of a sudden that disappeared. Whenever there, and of course MSNBC was the house organ for the Obama administration. Now things have completely changed, because let's go to Fox. Fox comes on yesterday, and man, you should have seen the long faces. These people who really support him, who really support the president, were bummed when all this came out. They had been talking Hillary, 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 this uranium thing. And, I said, look into it. I don't care. It has nothing to do with this. And man, were they bummed. And then it goes into, well, it's really nothing. And then Laura Ingraham calls it a nothing burger. And it isn't. It's not a nothing burger, Laura. If you were charged with these charges, you wouldn't look at it that way. And it all came out of course, which Fox doesn't talk about, was all a matter of President Trump firing Comey and then putting out his tweets intimating that he had proof that Comey was a liar and all that. And his own Attorney General, Sessions, backed off and said somebody had to be appointed. His own Attorney General, Trump's. And he didn't fire him. If he had fired him, we'd know where he stands. But he left him in there, which means that Sessions did the right thing. So all this, the president shot himself in the foot. Like I always said, if it wasn't for the Second Amendment, the president couldn't have shot himself in the foot. But back to Fox. So Fox sits there and goes, man, we are bummed, we are bummed. Then it's like, it's nothing, we are bummed, we are bummed. And you could see it on their faces, and they get so defensive, and it's all Hillary, 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 and uranium, uranium, uranium. Well, I don't think any of that uranium can leave the United States, so I really don't know where the real problem is there. But if there's a problem, look into it. But here you have Fox totally being the house organ for the White House. Completely. You have a couple good reporters on there, but completely being the house reporter for the White House. I mean, Fox used to be good. They had Greta Van Susteren. She was really good. She could be down the middle, a little bit conservative, but down the middle. Before O'Reilly, even O'Reilly had his hubris, and before it came out, all this harassment he did. I mean, $32 million for one person alone, but at least we own some of his others. Just crazy. But he tried to be kind of more in the middle. Middle towards right, of course, and he backed gay rights and stuff like that. And it was kind of interesting watching those guys. Like Sean Hannity, of course, was always didactic, but it was kind of interesting. Now those people have gone, and they've gone completely right, completely White House. Anything the White House says, Fox backs. I mean, watch them. It's obvious. There is no real objectivity there, just like there is no real objectivity on MSNBC. You get some good reporters there, but there's no real objectivity. Then let's go over to, and so you have one channel dancing, you have another channel crying, and then you have CNN. And CNN tries to play in the middle, but if you watched Anderson Cooper last night, he was grinning from ear to ear. Look, I like Anderson Cooper. AC360 is fun, but he hates the president. He makes it clear. So when this came out yesterday, he was like, almost looked happy. I'm not saying he was for sure. He didn't say, "Hi, I'm happy," but he sure looked happy. And most of the left-leaning people for CNN were just ecstatic. The right-wingers that they bring in, and most of them are pretty weak, are just yellers and screamers and come up with stuff and just keep yelling Hillary, Hillary, Hillary instead of dealing with the situation in front of them, which is there was a real investigation going on here by Mr. Mueller, and they're really looking into it. And now we're talking $17 million laundering of cash, and Michael Flynn's still sitting out there with his son. Who knows what's going to happen with them? They got to be the ones everybody's sitting back on. I have to assume, though, I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. I probably know less than nothing, that they're trying to let Flynn sit out there and kind of dangle while they're hitting other people to see how he's going to respond or how his son's going to respond. Who knows where this is going to go? But when you watch it, you can't, there's really no objectivity anymore. You have to almost pick and choose. And I can watch different people and know those that try to be more objective than others. And you can kind of listen to them and know it. But the cable news channels, it's just gotten so partisan. It's absolutely incredible. But isn't that what makes it fun? Flip it to this station, you know what they're going to say. Flip it to that station, you know what they're going to say. Flip it to the third station, you know what they're going to say. So you get ready, and it kind of gets you to sharpen up your arguments on either side. And like I said, it makes it very interesting. But of course, the media, as we have said from the beginning, is what's dividing the country and has been dividing the country. And they divide the country for ratings. And that's all it comes down to. MSNBC knows where they get their ratings. Fox knows where they get their ratings. CNN knows where they get their ratings. It's just so obvious now. It's so completely obvious. But it's out there. It's real. You might as well watch RT. What's that? Russia Today? They'll tell you what Putin has to say, that, or Sputnik. You might as well watch a couple of those. See what else is going on. Get some more propaganda while we're at it. So we're just that propaganda blown at us on TV, on cable news right now. But watch it, because if you don't take it in, you can't parse. You can't see what's going on. You can't really figure out what's happening unless you listen to all sides. And that's the only good thing about this media, is that you're getting all sides. You're just not getting objective most of the time. It's all going to work out, though. Please watch us, like us, share us, save us, comment, whatever else you're supposed to do. Thanks. Peace.